Ladies, let me tell y'all something that I've learned after years of talking to people, counseling folks, and just being in the game of life and love. A lot of y'all are out here trying to figure out how to make a man stay, how to keep him interested, how to make him feel something deep before it ever gets physical. And some folks think it's all about tricks or moves or how you look or what you wear. But let me tell you, what really gets a man twisted up over you is confidence. Real, authentic, bold, unshakable confidence. You see, confidence is the energy you bring into a room before you say a word. It's the way you walk, the way you carry yourself, the way you look people in the eye like, yeah, I know who I am. It ain't arrogance. It ain't being loud or flashy. It's quiet strength. It's you knowing you don't have to do too much because who you are is already enough. You ever been around a woman who just knows she's the prize? I'm not talking about someone who says it to convince herself. I mean, she walks like it, talks like it, and lives like it. She don't have to chase a man. She don't have to beg for attention. Her presence alone commands respect. And let me tell you something. When a man sees that, it hits different. He starts thinking, damn, who is this? And not because of what she's wearing, but because of what she's radiating. You can't fake confidence. You can dress it up, sure. You can wear the heels, do the hair, throw on the perfume. But if your spirit is uncertain, if your self-worth is shaky, a real one will pick up on that. Confidence is rooted in what you believe about yourself when nobody's watching. It's how you treat yourself, how you talk to yourself when you're alone. Because how you treat you teaches other people how to treat you. So when I say do this before he enters you, I mean walk into the room like you know your value. Set that tone because the energy you set from the beginning determines how he's going to engage with you. If you treat yourself like an afterthought, don't be surprised when he does the same. But if you walk in like, hey, I'm not here to audition for a role in your life. I am the role. Now he's paying attention. A woman who knows she ain't desperate to be chosen is magnetic. Let me repeat that. Not desperate to be chosen. That means you don't bend your standards just to keep a man around. That means you don't let fear of being alone make you settle for half-effort love. When a man sees you're not afraid to be by yourself, that you enjoy your own company, that you got your own peace, your own purpose, your own life, he gets real intent because now he knows he has to bring something real to the table. He can't show up with just charm and a few compliments. No, no, he got to come correct. And listen, confidence ain't about being perfect. It ain't about having it all together every day. It's about saying, yeah, I got flaws, I got scars, I've been through some mess, but I'm still here. I still love me. I still know I'm worthy. That's strength. That's the kind of woman who gets into a man's head and stays there. You want him to go crazy for you? Show him that you're already whole, that you're not looking for him to complete you, just compliment you, that you don't need him to give you worth because you already walk in it. Now he's thinking, how do I add to her life? How do I keep up with her standard? And let me tell you, fellas love a challenge when it comes to a woman like that. It ain't about games. It's about elevation. A confident woman doesn't lower herself to fit into his world. She invites him to rise up into hers. So the next time you're getting ready for that date, don't just focus on your outfit. Focus on your mindset. Don't just rehearse what you're going to say. Remind yourself who you are. Ask yourself, do I like me? Because if the answer is yes, if you walk in that door with your head high and your peace intact, baby, you're already winning. You won before he even spoke, before he even touched you, before he even earned the right to enter your body or your heart or your time. That kind of woman, she doesn't just get attention, she gets respect. And that is what makes a man go crazy. Now, let me break this down for you, because this one right here is where a lot of women get tripped up. We live in a time where things move fast. Everybody's rushing, texting, DMing, meeting up. Boom, now we're talking, now we're dating, now we're in bed. But I'm here to tell you something a little old school, a little grown folks. A man should not be allowed to enter your body and your mind first. So listening to me, I'm saying he's got to earn access, not just to your time, not just to your phone number, but to your emotions, to that soft part of you that you don't just hand out to anybody. We're not vending machines. This ain't swipe and get affection. This is real life, and in real life, love means something. Vulnerability means something. Your body is sacred, and it deserves to be treated like it's sacred. You can't let a man get physical with you when he's never even tried to understand you, never even tried to see who you are beneath the surface. A real man, he don't mind taking the time. He wants to know how your day was. He wants to know what scares you, what makes you laugh, what dreams you've had since you were little. A man who wants to connect with you emotionally will listen to your stories, even if you ramble. He'll ask questions, and not just to get in your pants, but because he's genuinely curious about what's in your heart. But here's the key. You have to set that standard. If you don't, he won't. And not because he's a bad guy, but because we as men, we follow the rules you give us. If you say, this is how I move, and you stay consistent with it, the right man will adjust. He'll rise up. He'll step into your world the way you require. But if you compromise too early, if you send the message that access to you is cheap, that connection doesn't need to be earned, and once that tone is set, it's hard to take it back. You see, men are used to chasing. Since the beginning of time, men have been hunters. But the mistake a lot of women make is thinking that in today's world, you got to be the one chasing him. That's false, all wrong. The woman who makes him wait, who makes him talk, who makes him show his intentions, that is the one he remembers. That's the one he thinks about. That's the one he respects. And let's be real, anybody can sleep with anybody. That's easy. But not everybody can sit across from you and be vulnerable. Not everybody can say, I don't know how to love right, but I want to try. Not everybody can admit that they've been hurt too. And you as a woman deserve a man who's willing to go there, who's willing to be naked with you emotionally before anything else. Because intimacy without emotional connection, that ain't intimacy, that's just activity. There are too many women out here giving their bodies to men who ain't even earned a conversation, letting men in physically who haven't even asked what you're afraid of at night, what drives you in the morning, what made you cry last week. You're letting them enter your most sacred space before they've even touched your soul. And then wondering why you feel empty afterwards, why they ghost you, why it never grows. Baby, you skipped the most important part. You have to require that access, require that connection. That's where the power is. When a man realizes you are not easy to touch, not because you're playing games, but because you value your energy and your spirit, he starts to think different. He starts to approach different. A man who's really about you will slow down. He will ask. He will listen. He will wait. And while he's doing that, he'll start investing emotionally. That's the difference between a guy who's just visiting your life and a man who's building something with you. And let me tell you something else. When you give a man emotional access, first, not sexual access, not convenience, but real emotional entry, you build something that can last. Because once he's been allowed into your heart, once you've both seen each other's truth, once you've laughed and cried and gone deep, then the physical becomes a whole new thing. It becomes sacred. It becomes meaningful. That's the kind of connection that makes a man stay up at night thinking about you. That's the kind of connection he tells his boys about and says, man, I can't mess this one up. You have to hold that standard. not to be cold, not to play hard to get, but because you know what your soul is worth. Because you're not just here to entertain somebody for a season, you're looking for something that nourishes you, that builds with you, that sees you for real. So before a man gets your body, ask yourself, has he earned your mind? Has he connected to your heart? Has he tried to understand your spirit? If the answer is no, then baby, he ain't ready to enter you. And that's not rejection. That's wisdom. That's love. That's power. And that right there, that's what separates a woman from a queen. Let me tell you something that most people won't say, but I'm going to say it because you need to hear it. One of the most attractive things a woman can have, I mean seriously attractive, is peace. That's right, peace. Not makeup, not curves, not even success. I'm talking about inner peace, that calmness, that centered spirit, that stillness in your energy that says, I don't do chaos, I don't do drama, and I don't let nobody come in and mess up what I've built inside of me. See, people don't really talk about this part. Everybody's busy chasing something. Love, money, attention, validation. But not everybody's focused on protecting what matters most, and that's peace. That quiet confidence. That joy that ain't dependent on who texts you back or who didn't. That peace is your power and you got to guard it like your life depends on it. Because in a way it does. Now I know what some of y'all are thinking. You're saying, Steve, I want love. I want connection. I want to build something with a man. That's beautiful. That's natural. Ain't nothing wrong with wanting love. But you better understand this. The wrong man can cost you your peace and that price is too high. Some of y'all have already paid it. You gave someone access to your life, and in return, you got confusion, anxiety, second guessing, sleepless nights, always wondering where you stand, what's really going on, if you're good enough. That ain't love, baby. That's emotional bankruptcy. A man who respects you will never try to disturb your peace. A man who's real about you, who values you, he's going to come in calm. He's not going to bring that roller coaster energy. He's not going to make you feel like you're in competition with other women. He's not going to have you guessing about his feelings. When a man really wants to be in your life, he's going to add to your peace, not subtract from it. He's going to come in like, hey, I see how well you've been doing by yourself. Let me bring something that complements that. But here's where your power comes in. You have to recognize when someone is costing you peace, and you have to be bold enough to walk away from that. No explanation needed, no long speech, just this ain't for me. I fought too hard for my healing to let you come in here and unravel it. You don't need closure when you've got clarity, and peace gives you that clarity. Peace lets you sleep at night. Peace lets you laugh without tension. Peace lets you breathe. Now, let me be real with you. Protecting your peace doesn't mean you're cold. It doesn't mean you've got walls so high that nobody can reach you. It just means you have boundaries. And boundaries are not punishment, they're protection. You've got to be able to say, look, I like you, but I love me. You understand what I'm saying? That's not arrogance. That's self-preservation. That's wisdom. That's you knowing that you are the one who has to live with yourself every day. So why would you let somebody bring stress into your space just because you're afraid to be alone? You ever meet somebody and the moment they walk in, the energy shifts. Your chest tightens. You're on edge. You feel like you can't fully relax around them. That's your spirit talking to you. That's your peace being disturbed. And let me tell you something, you better listen. Because the longer you ignore it, the louder the damage becomes. You don't owe anyone access to your peace just because they're charming or persistent or familiar. Even if it's somebody from your past, even if you used to love them, if they come back with chaos in their hands, you have to close the door. And here's the part that might sting a little, but I gotta say it. Sometimes it's not even the other person disturbing your peace. Sometimes it's you not trusting yourself, not setting standards, not saying no when you should. You've got to do the work to heal your own wounds so you don't keep opening the door to mess. You've got to love yourself enough to say, I deserve peace, even if it means being by myself for a while. Peace ain't passive. Peace is powerful. Peace says, I don't need chaos to feel alive. I don't need drama to feel wanted. I don't need confusion to feel like I'm in love. When a man sees a woman walking in her peace, he knows he's dealing with something rare. And if he's smart, he'll do everything in his power not to disturb that. He'll respect the environment you created around you. He'll speak softer. He'll move slower. He'll approach you with more care. That's what you want. Not somebody who comes in hot and reckless, but someone who steps in with honor. That's the kind of love that grows. That's the kind of love that nourishes. That's the kind of love that feels like home. Let me tell you something that most women don't realize they got the power to do. You can give a man a vision, not just a vibe, not just a night, not just a moment. I'm talking about a vision, a glimpse into what life could be like if he really shows up, if he really grows up, if he really steps into his role as a man. You want to make a man go crazy for you? Don't just seduce him with your body. Inspire him with your future. Now, I have seen all types of women in my life, beautiful women, smart women, independent women. And let me tell you what separates the ones who leave a mark from the ones who just leave a memory. The ones who leave a mark, they gave that man a vision. They made him see something in himself that he didn't even know was there. They didn't just bring love. They brought clarity, direction, purpose, and that's powerful. See, any woman can be fun for the moment. You can take the trip, have the laughs, do the dinners, light the candles. That's easy. But what happens when the music stops? What happens when life hits? What happens when real stuff starts to show up? Stress, bills, pressure, failure, disappointment. A woman with vision don't crumble. She don't fold. She reminds that man who he is, even when he forgets. That's a queen right there. That's somebody he ain't letting go of. But you got to know who you are before you can paint a vision for anybody else. You got to walk in your own calling, have your own dreams, your own plans, your own foundation. Because listen to me, if you don't know where you're going, you can't expect anybody to want to follow you. You can't inspire somebody to build a future with you if your whole focus is just trying to survive the present. A woman who has vision knows what she brings to the table, and she's not afraid to eat alone until somebody worthy sits down beside her. Let me break it down a little more. If a man comes into your life and all he gets is pleasure but no purpose, he might stay a while, but he ain't staying forever. Because when a man is really serious about his life, when he starts thinking legacy, stability, peace, he's not looking for just somebody to chill with. He's looking for somebody who sharpens him. He's looking for a woman who makes him think bigger, speak better, move stronger. When he finds her, Lord have mercy, he changes. He evolves. He levels up just to be able to stand next to her. And don't get it twisted. Giving a man a vision don't mean doing everything for him. It don't mean you babysit him or fix him or carry him. It means you set a standard, you set a tone, you say, this is the kind of life I'm building. These are the kind of values I walk with. This is the level of respect I require, the communication I expect, the way I protect my energy, the way I show up. And if you want to be here, I need you to show up too. That's it. You don't got to yell it. You don't got to threaten. You just live it. Because a real man recognizes real structure. He knows when he's in the presence of something solid. And let me tell you something powerful. Men remember the woman who made them better. They might forget the one they had fun with, the one they flirted with, the one they ran the streets with. But the one who challenged them to be the man they were meant to be, the one who spoke to their potential, not just their ego, that woman lives in his mind forever. She changed the trajectory of his life. She made him see what love could look like when it's real, when it's grown, when it's built to last. So ask yourself, what are you showing him? Are you showing him you can party? That's cool. Are you showing him you're sexy? That's great. But are you showing him a future? Are you showing him peace, purpose, vision, growth? Because that's what grips a man's soul. That's what keeps him coming back. That's what makes him say, I found a woman I don't just want for tonight. I need her for life. And the best part is this, when you show him that vision, the right man will step up. He'll say, let me match her energy. Let me meet her there. He'll start dreaming with you, planning with you. He'll protect what you're building together. That's when you know you've got more than love. You've got partnership. You've got legacy. You've got something that ain't just for the moment, but for the long haul. And let me hit you with something deep. When you give a man a vision, you help unlock a part of him that the world tries to shut down. Society don't always give men the space to be soft, to dream out loud, to hope big. But when a woman looks him in the eye and says, I see more in you than where you came from. I see a king in you, even if you've been acting like a court jester. That does something to a man. It shakes him, it humbles him, it motivates him. He might have been surrounded by people who only saw the surface, his mistakes, his struggles, his past, but you saw his potential. You looked past the dust and saw the diamond. That's why it's so important to be rooted in your own self-worth. Because when you know your value, you're not scared to call greatness out of someone else. You're not intimidated by his process. Because you understand your presence is part of his progress. But listen, you don't wait forever. You don't hold on to potential that refuses to grow. The vision you give him should inspire action, not excuses. If he sees the future and still chooses to play small, still chooses comfort over character, then baby, he ain't your assignment. You planted the seed. Now let him go find the water. Your job isn't to fix him, it's to awaken him. What he does after that is on him. And when the right man sees you, sees your light, sees your vision, oh, he gonna run toward it, not away. He's not gonna fear it. He's gonna honor it because he knows a woman like you don't just change lives. She builds and